Yo, it is Ciaran here with some tips once again to help you be ghosted less and dated more. I'm going to break down one of my recent conversations which led to me meeting a woman for an erotic massage. Listen to this if you're ghosted more often than you'd like or having dates that go nowhere. Let's get started. Now, regarding seduction and dating, we as men must calibrate our behaviours to the comfort levels of the women we interact with. This means that assuming she likes you, a very sexually confident woman will initially be more comfortable with you than a shy woman and will be willing to go further faster. The woman in this chat is very open and has a high sexual confidence. But how exactly do we know that? Well, she messaged me out of the blue at midnight asking me to read her a bedtime story. That is gold medal winning levels of confidence right there. Another thing to note is that as most women want men to lead in sexual situations, they tend to set us up to do so. Whatever she initiates is usually a step or two less than she would be comfortable with you doing. For instance, if she keeps playfully pushing you, she's probably comfortable with you putting your arm around her. If she stands very close to you or presses her head against yours, she's probably comfortable with you kissing her. This woman messaged me in the middle of the night asking me to send her gently to her sleep, which was a huge sign that she wanted things to go sexual. Anyway, I gave her the option of hearing a spiritual story, a thriller, or an erotic story. Most women in that scenario go for something safe like a thriller, but she dove in and wanted something erotic, which again speaks a lot about her sexual bravery. I called her and read 4 paragraphs of one of my erotic stories before moving the conversation on to different topics. I didn't give her everything she wanted, not at all. The story was about a woman who has wild, rampant, earth-shattering sex while cheating on her husband, but I didn't read all the way to the sex. I teased her with the intro paragraphs in which the main character watches another woman grind her ass against a man's crotch on the dance floor of a nightclub. Clearly, the entire story would have gotten insanely hot and steamy, but I chose not to read the whole thing because, number one, I hadn't slept with her yet, and for whatever reason, when you get too sexual too early with a woman you haven't yet had sex with, you tend to scare her away. If I read the full story, as much as she'd have enjoyed it, there was a damn good chance she'd have ghosted me or avoided meeting me afterwards. Number 2, I wanted to leave some mystery. Number 3, it's compelling when as a man you're willing and able to walk away from sex. Women aren't used to us doing that, which makes them want and respect you more. Once I was done reading, we flirted some more over the phone and made plans to meet in person the next day. Again, if I'd gone all the way with my reading, she'd probably have decided I only wanted one thing and not agreed to meet. Please remember that seduction is a marathon and not a sprint. Anyway, when we met, I bought her some cocktails and we chilled at the beach for a couple hours, watching the waves crash softly against the shore. We started with flirting, light hand-holding and caressing, which slowly became more intimate as we became more comfortable with each other. Eventually, I whispered into her ear and kissed her arms and shoulders while her skin tingled with delight. At the same time, she did everything in her power not to publicly grip the bulge in my shorts. It was a slow build to this point. It took time. We first enjoyed each other's company, shared jokes, enjoyed our drinks, became slightly tipsy and got to know each other as people. She had 1,000,001 questions about the story I wrote, most notably why I wrote from the female perspective instead of the male. I told her, as I've told so many other women, that it's just something I'm drawn to. For whatever reason, I prefer to write female protagonists than males. She said she suspects I was a woman in my last life, and I told her I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. After that, we went home separately to take care of some stuff before I went over to her place in the evening to give her a coconut oil massage. I'm sure you can imagine what happened next. Now, some things to note. Even though she was sexually confident and wanted to hear an erotic story, I didn't go all the way with her because there wasn't any upside to it. Suppose I had read the entire story. In that case, she'd have gotten really turned on, maybe had an orgasm during or afterwards, and most likely gotten weirded out by going so far with a man she hadn't even met in person and ghosted me. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, leave them wanting more. Well, never is that more accurate than when dealing with women. It's much more powerful to hint at sexuality than slap them in the face with it. Be subtle, be classy, be discreet, and let their minds fill in the blanks. Also, take your time. A man who's willing to walk away from sex is hugely attractive, so don't feel like a conversation that becomes sexual has to stay that way. And that's it for today's video. Thank you very much. If you like this video, comment this video, subscribe to the channel, slam the notification bell, and have yourself a good day.